So you've been thinking about making an investment in South Florida, but you haven't been able to figure out where to look yet. You know short-term rental has a great potential for income, but you're just not sure which project to focus on because there's quite a bit of options out there. Now I want you to imagine that you are able to purchase a property that allows for short-term rental, so you're securing that income. But in addition, that property also comes with a separately deeded office that you could also choose to operate as a short-term rental income producing property. I know what you're probably thinking. Okay, that sounds great. You get a unit with an office, but how do I rent out an office? And here's the kicker. Airbnb is partnering with this building. What that means is that this will be the first building where Airbnb, the company, will be handling the rentals of not only the residences, but also the offices. Okay, that's great, but what are they charging? And that's where it gets interesting. They are the most competitive that I have seen in anything that's out there. I strongly urge you to reach out to me if this is something that even remotely interests you, so I can give you a better perspective of what that really entails. But the competitive advantage is there. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, that's what I thought as well. And that's why today I'm excited to share with you the newest development coming to Wynwood. So depending on when you're seeing this, it may or may not be too late, but hopefully you see this soon enough so that you can act. Hey, by the way, I'm Juan Yadusi with Compass, your South Florida realtor. As I always share with you guys, I don't represent the developer for this project. I'm not vinculated in any way, shape, or form, and I'm not being paid to promote it. However, for these video series, I do choose to highlight some of the projects that I believe in most, as there are quite a bit of options out there, and I know it can sometimes be overwhelming and hard for even us as realtors to navigate, so I can only imagine somebody from the outside looking in. And so with that in mind, this is a project that I've decided to bring to you because it has a competitive edge and advantage that I have not seen any other product out there bring the market. And that is, like I mentioned, you will be able to purchase an income producing short-term rental property that you can lease out with flexible rental restrictions, meaning you can rent it out daily. You will also receive a separately deeded office space, which you can choose to rent out seasonally, monthly, daily, annually. Keep it for yourself. The choice is yours, or you could sell it if you'd like. So let me give you an overview of the project. It is located in Wynwood, right on 2nd Avenue, right next to Wynwood Walls. If you're not familiar with Wynwood yet, it's one of the most sought after locations in Miami at the moment. Not only in the residential sector, as we're seeing more and more multifamily development, apartment buildings, and condo towers be built in the area, but also the commercial aspect. Some of the best restaurants in town are planting their flags in Wynwood. And we have seen tech companies rush into the area, such as Gemini, Spotify, and now Amazon, who recently signed over 40,000 square feet of office space. So needless to say, the area continues to grow organically at this point, but it is also one of the biggest tourist attractions. Its graffiti-covered walls, walkability, and proximity to the Design District, Midtown, Edgewater, and Brickell and downtown make it for a great day trip for most people. Whether you're here on vacation, just visiting for a day or two, maybe you're coming to the Port of Miami going on a cruise and you had some time to spare. But as I mentioned, it's developing in the tech and the creative sort of hub for Miami. If Brickell is the financial district, this is surely growing to be more the creative and tech hub. The building is not a skyscraper, it is actually a 9-story building, and the 9th floor is actually the rooftop pool and amenity deck. And as far as the residences, there are 233 residences in the building, mainly consisting of junior suites plus dens, and the largest units which would be 1 bedroom plus den. Now it's important to note that not all of the residences come with the separately deeded office, but the prices start at just $500,000. As I mentioned today, depending on when you're watching this video, those prices may and surely will have gone up by now. And for the residences that actually do include the office, those are actually ranging in the $730,000 to $750,000 range. I want to show you here what the third floor looks like, which is where all of the office spaces are. As you will notice, towards the south side of the building, you do have some residences. And then on the north side of the building, you have all of the office space laid out. Some offices are facing the window, so you have a little bit of a view. Then you have interior office spaces, and you will notice that they range roughly between 60 to 150 square feet. You also do count with shared office space, which you can use if you purchase one of those units that does not have the separately deeded office. But as you can see, you also have conference areas that you can enjoy. Now, regarding the residences, they are fully finished and furnished with those options that have the den, allowing you to sleep more people or more guests. You have top of the line appliance packages, as well as Italian cabinetry designed by Italcraft, Waterworks bathroom fixtures, built-in top of the line washer and dryer, and all of the residences do come equipped with a contemporary lighting package. Here, I'd just like to show you a little bit of the floor plan. First, let's look at the key plan. And you will notice that the building sits almost as an L shape. I'll show you here where the 1 bedroom plus den units are in the building. You will see some are facing west here, and the others are facing north. Now, it's important to note that for those that are facing north, you are overlooking the Serenity Garden, which is going to be located on the 4th floor of the building. Essentially, right above the office spaces, there will be a beautiful Serenity Garden with a meditation glass house. So if you or your guests needed to have some sort of event, if they were coming for a party, they wanted to reserve the glass house, they could do that as well. Now, keep in mind, if you're overlooking the garden, it's going to be a pleasant view. Now, going back to the key plan here, you will see some of the junior suites. It's important to note that some of these do not offer a balcony. So for the 1 bedroom plus dens and the junior suites plus den, most of them will offer a nice sized terrace, complete with a summer kitchen, but some of the smaller suites will not have any balcony at all. So you will note here on the south side, it's really more so of the junior suites. Something that is important to keep in mind is that in Wynwood, it's going to be mainly city views. Because there's beautiful art and murals around you, it's pretty much take your pick of the mural that you want to look at, but you're not really getting much water views. Remember, it's only a 9-story building. So I want to show you so you can get an idea of what the views would look like on a higher floor. So here you can get a very good idea of what is around you. What's interesting here is the walkability aspect is phenomenal. It's relatively similar to what you would experience in Brickell as an example. Anything from a quick bite to a nice restaurant. So let's take a look at what the amenity deck looks like. As you can see, you have your resort style pool, you have your fitness center, and then this is the infrared wellness area. And the developer behind the project is PMG. Now, these folks know what they're doing. They are responsible for the 411 buildings that are being constructed, as well as the Waldorf Astoria, the Elser, 120 Brickell, and they've already built successful buildings like Echo in Brickell and Muse in Sunny Isles, to name a few. This developer was savvy enough to go directly to Airbnb and create a partnership for one of their 11 towers, which is West 11. Airbnb will also be managing that project in terms of the rentals, but this one is the first one where they introduce that office component that Airbnb will also be able to manage. So again, I'm just very excited about this project because it has a competitive advantage and a competitive edge that really nothing else out there has, which is, yes, the office, but more importantly, that Airbnb partnership. Because there are many operators out there, property managers, short-term rental operators, but it's hard to compete with Airbnb. Just as a thought experiment, imagine Uber getting into the space of, I don't know, buying Teslas that are self-driving and having them drive themselves. You get where I'm going with this? Airbnb will manage the project and will manage the rentals. And I know you're probably wondering, is Airbnb still a good model? Should I invest in Airbnb? What are the risks? Well, I actually created a video that you can watch. I'll link it right up here and I'll put it in the description below. So once again, to recap, you're getting in at the ground level. You're also getting the option of purchasing a residence with a separately deeded office, and you have the backing of Airbnb that will be handling all of the bookings. So I hope you're as excited as me after watching this video. If you found some use for it, I would greatly appreciate if you could give me a like, share it with anybody that you think might be interested in this. Quickly, they will go quickly, but more importantly, reach out to me. My information is in the description below. I'm happy to go over more details with you. We can book a one-on-one presentation where I can actually describe these things a little bit further in detail. You can actually book a time on my calendar for a presentation if you'd like. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'm Juan Yarusi with Compass, your South Florida realtor. And remember, stay informed, stay savvy, stay ready, and I'll see you on the next one. Hey, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time. If you want to check out other projects that allow for a short-term rental down here, click right here. And if you want to stay in tune with everything that's happening here in South Florida, consider subscribing. Thank you.